Hey, what's up everyone? This is Scramble from Emotionless Crypto Trading, and today we will do some price analysis for Ethereum and Bitcoin, as well talk a little bit of the market cap because it's going higher and higher and we're about to hit the 1 trillion milestone. So if we have 4 to 5 bullish days in a row, we're gonna hit 1 trillion market cap. And the BTC dominance in the meantime, of course, is suffering because more and more money flies into the altcoin space. A lot of these projects have nice high usability in the ecosystem of blockchain, right? So the alts are definitely representing a necessity for our space because they do share a lot. They do share a lot of the things in so many industries, and that's just something that we would need in the future as well with the upcoming ICOs to provide a better quality for the ecosystem. It's not only about a trading, it's more likely on the blockchain as well. Now you might be a trader or not, and you definitely want to care about the money you're making. Of course, that really matters, and that's really going to be in proportion of the value of the crypto that you are kind of investing or trading. So it's something to consider for you. 60 billion today, crazy. 36.6% BTC dominance, very, very small. Let me click on it and show you what's happening here. I'm gonna make sure it's all, right? So the zoom is all on the orange color, right there at the top. This is Bitcoin dominance, right? So Bitcoin dominance right now is at the lowest level ever possible. Never been that low. And I'm sure that in the future we're going to be even lower. We just got to give it a little bit of time, because you see that our tops were always at a lower and lower level, right? Our tops were always pushed down and down in the last years because the altcoin market started to pick up in volume, in attention, in popularity, and so on, especially since the ICO started to be launched like nothing else. And you can see days with 15 to 20 ICOs going live, which is ridiculous because like 80 to 90% of them are scams, and you definitely have to run away from this kind of businesses. But of course the ICOs are the ones, if you know how to research and use strict filters, you can make a lot of the money with them. And for sure, I'm definitely suggesting you to hunt all the beautiful ICOs. Probably trying to update you here on my channel as well with the ICOs, and trying to do my best, but definitely the time is very, very limited to work on so many video presentations. I'm trying to stick with the most important things for right now. So I'm going to focus on the price analysis and see the charts, right? So it definitely suffered. You can see how the alts are gaining momentum and becoming better and better. Of course, you can make 50 to 100x with an ICO, and you can make with an alt something like that, but with Bitcoin, it's kind of difficult to make 50x from now. It's kind of very difficult, and probably I don't believe that. So we're heading towards here to the Bitcoin price analysis on the charts. 2-hour candlestick Bitcoin to dollar, right? So what we have here is definitely a situation where we do have a breakout of the downtrending resistance line, because you can definitely see how Bitcoin is picking up and people started to buy in at that time. You can see this long I'm just going to remove that. You can see this long green candlestick, and of course people who knew how to do the charts, they saw the breakout and they bought in. That's why long volume here, boom, going up, breakout, it sustained above the level, and of course we were able to create an uptrending support line which starts from here and it just goes like that. Now the downtrending resistance line on the other side, of course, starts from the all-time high and it comes down the way, forming quite an aggressive moving in the price, because here down we were at 11,000 bucks, and on the other side up it's like $20,000. so the difference is insane, and it's in only, I'll show you, I'll measure it right now, it's in only 5 days. You can see that right there at the end, it says 5 days and 2 hours. 5 days and 2 hours, 76.20% difference in the price. Huge. 5 days and 2 hours only. What kind of crash? That was insane. And of course we recovered from there, but we were in the downtrending environment. Now here, when it had a breakout, and from there we started to recover a little bit faster and setting up new heights basically, as well as quite an aggressive uptrending support line. But what happens here is something I wanted to talk about here is the 16,500 bucks crucial price point. You can see how these price points have a large impact on our charts for Bitcoin compared to dollar. Right here, it stops our rally basically. So a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of people who bought and everyone was happy that nobody's going to stop the Bitcoin and it's going to go up to 500,000. That's what people thought at that time. Now this price point here was that powerful that it was kind of able to stop everything just like that in a all-time high position. Boom, this is where it is, right? So 16,500 for once confirming as a very, very powerful price point for the bearish. Huge pressure pushing the market down. What happens next is we do breakout here because the enthusiasm was with us, of course, considering the previous movement. Media was pushing Bitcoin. You guys have to buy, you guys have to buy, you have to reach your freedom, you have to do this, you have to do that, as the media does, manipulates people and all those things you guys know. And we were able to break out of the resistance of the 16,500 crucial price point. And we managed to go up and raise a new all-time high basically, which currently sits as a resistance point. Now, in the other movements, the next thing here is you can definitely see that we started to rally down the way. We had a markdown. From there, we started to come down aggressively. From here down to here, extremely aggressively again from the price point of 16,500, where bearish was acting with high pressure once again. Now before this, you can see these shadows here, right? You can see those shadows, 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows on all those candlesticks. It's just people who try to come back to fight back against the bearish of 16,500. But we were managed to succeed for a short period of time because we were in a downtrending environment already and there were no professional or whales buying into it at that time at all, especially that we had lower highs already, and that's kind of another signal out of many to start worrying about it. So we were trying, but of course here failing and boom, down the way. Now the next thing that happens is 16,500 level has been tested and it confirmed as a resistance point as previously done, right? So we've done here once again and once again, so many times acting as a resistance for our charts. One more time, it has the ability to do it right over here, and it kind of does it from what can I see right now. Of course, we've got 2-hour candlesticks, and in the next 4 to 6 hours we'll establish new candlesticks which would represent a breakout. But this right here is important because this can push the price down and we could have our trading zone below, which is definitely not good. It's definitely not good as we're in an uptrending little channel right now. So the power and the enthusiasm should be quite around the BTC, as well as it had that 10% growth in the last 24 hours, which is not something we were able to see in the last weeks. So there is already people claiming that Bitcoin is recovering and it's on the way to 20 grand. So what happens here is we definitely need the breakout and we need movement within this area. We need a breakout and movement within this area. Once we break out, we will be able to test the all-time high once again, because there's no other major resistance that shows up. There's no other major one that shows up. There will have some resistance points around 17,500 representing this starting point and going like this, right? So here we'll have some resistance and we could have movements like this, but the point that we should really consider is the all-time high around 20,000 bucks after we break out of 16,500, right? So this is the situation for it. This is the way it looks like. We don't really want to trade below this level. We definitely have to move up the structure of trading above our level, because currently here in the downtrend we were below the level of 16,500. Now we're trying to move above it, right? That's the idea basically of what we're trying to succeed here. All right, so Here we go with Ethereum with USD basically. Another chart to our candlesticks for Coinbase. What happens is, again, we did had a breakout, downtrending line breakout, resistance line here. You can see the nice breakout basically, which really comes from our previous all-time high. Very nice breakout from our previous all-time high coming down the way. A very, very powerful selling pressure after our all-time high at that time. We were coming down to 450 from 876, which is insane. Insane. So you can see how the charts are kind of similar, how the selling pressure here acts, as well as how powerful the selling pressure is here on the BTC side, in the same way, in the same manner at those times. But the only difference is we were able here to break out of everything we had and move above everything that represented resistance. So what happens is we have a resistance structure acting as a zone, right? So this is the resistance structure acting as a zone, as a resistance zone. Where we did add the breakout, of course, because of the large enthusiasm coming in after the breakout of the downtrending resistance line. It did break out, and it of course went parabolically after that. So what happens is all-time high was breakout as well, which was this one, the previous all-time high, and now we're taking it forward and we're able to kind of build up a structure above the last resistance, which was this one, right? So what happens is we definitely need this blue line right here to act as a support. 877, you definitely want to look after it to act as a support. If it does that, then we're going towards to 1,500 without problems, right? So if eventually we're coming down the way here, you want to see it acting as a support. It needs to confirm on us. Whenever it tests, it needs to confirm on us. Now, in comparison with BTC's charts, which is sitting around, you know, for BTC, the crucial point is 16,500, right? And for Ethereum, the crucial point is a zone between 768 and 782, right? So this is exactly where we broke out. You kind of see that from there we went parabolically. The same story happens over here. We need a breakout and a movement parabolically, so we do have chances of breaking out of the all-time high as well and going forward exactly like I've represented right here. So I'm sure right now it does make sense for you, and it just helps you a lot to see these important price points and the way that you kind of have to do your analysis before you place any sort of trades, right? So whenever you would definitely like to see price analysis and market analysis, you can visit my channel for this kind of information, because that's kind of all about for today's one. I've tried to keep it as short as possible, and hopefully this kind of content and type of videos are helping you as well, because it's not something you kind of see on YouTube as a general content. It's more and very, very specific. So thank you for watching. Feel free to share your ideas in the comments area. What do you think about everything you saw here? Your feedback is welcome, whatever it is. I appreciate it, because I can do better next time. And feel free to subscribe. If you would like to find useful links, you can definitely see in the description area, such as collaboration, coaching, and all that stuff. Twitter, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me everywhere. And that's pretty much all about. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next videos.